that you're an HR manager and you go into a search engine to look for the right people for the job, fit for purpose, you must have a unique filter to get the right person. The filter before, I'm not sure what they used to require from us, but the old way, the filters used to be, time management, then the usual degree. Every time someone wants to give you a job, they say, must have a bachelor's degree, and how many years of experience? 3. Not 30. 3 years. 3 years of experience in that's they're very unique, in the field, or related field, Now you're going to find yourself having an access to a search engine, but having to change your filters. Because the guy here does not have the 3 years experience. We just said that the generation is young, isn't it? 18 to 30, that's almost 80% of the population here. Where did they get the 3 years? Nowadays, forget our days, used to study and work at the same time, sometimes 3 jobs, right? Now you have more people staying in school to study fully and then graduate. So when are they going to be here? So now, not only do you have access to the human resource, now you must turn back as the ones who are giving internship and jobs. You don't wait for the search engine. You now say, based on this, I need people who are A, B, C, D. You come back to this age. This is the one you teach the things you will want. So you can no longer wait for them to find a way. You now must come to this market when they're this young. Does it make sense now? And say, in 4 years, I will need a kind of person who does A, B, C, D. So even those with HR consultancy firms, this is what you're doing. You're making sure that the search engine, the access that you give into the market, has the kind of people, not bachelor's degree and 3 years of experience and related fields. No. The ones who can give you the efficiency, and those are the ones you're giving. But now that is the people who give you the jobs. What about you who take the jobs? I said access and then I said skills. Skills are very, very important because you can have all the technical skills and I refuse to give you the job. Do you know that? Or you can actually, because sometimes theory doesn't work, which is shocking, by the way. But I can sit in a class and you teach me things that I won't apply in the market. A few years ago, I did public relations and media studies. And one of the modules was radio. And every time I sit in that class, I'm like, what are you saying? Because at the time I had done radio for like 10 years. And they would say, if you want to be a radio presenter, this, I'm like, what are you teaching? Because none of that matters. You say, ground, this does not work. They were teaching us about the types of radio knobs, Smanya what? I was like, I've never had to hold a radio knob. And I've done radio for a decade. You understand? And I said to the lecturer, I'm sorry, could you allow for these people to come at least twice a week to the studios with me? See what a console is. Because even the consoles you're teaching, they don't use anymore. They'll never see that console in their life. But also, not everybody studying that module is going to be a radio presenter. Do you understand? So why are you teaching as if the output of this is a radio presenter? If you study mass comm, does it mean all of you are going to be PR and comms managers? No. Surprisingly, even if you're studying to be an HR manager, you can diversify. So sometimes don't be, I asked her if everybody here was an HR student, right? But then I also said, unfortunate or fortunate, that if you look at an organization, the department with very few people is yours. It's rare for it to be a mass hiring. They can't say, in this company, the Department of Human Resource has 50 people. Is that possible? I don't know what level of organization that would have to be. Because even the Googles, where you have Google Philippines, Switzerland, wherever, 1 or 2. And you know what they do? There's a group human resource manager who most likely will have about 5-6 markets. and then have others in the subsidiaries. And even then, they'll have one person who runs another 2 markets. So at all times in this new age, someone is taking the job of 3 people. Average. Can I tell you my reality? I'm currently the head of broadcast for 4 brands. Meaning I've taken how many jobs? If you remove me, if I was to get the job, how many people have I replaced? The person I replaced in the office I sit in, do you know how many brands they were working on? The 5 years before him, do you know how many brands that person led? By the time I was a news anchor at NTV, the person who hired me, Aggie Konde, I don't know if you all know her, she was leading. She was a managing director of 1 brand. The person who replaced her, they added a 2nd brand. Now me, I have actually 5 because now I lead digital transformation as well. So I have the jobs of 5 people. It's cheaper for the organization. And when they're lucky to have a head as good as mine, efficiency is better. You don't need 6 conversations. You have Flavia in one room and ask her, what's up with digital? She answers. What's happening at radio? She answers. What's happening at TV? She answers. The problem is replacing Flavia. Do you understand? So we should be teaching a lot more of that, how to multiply Flavia, than just enjoying Flavia. Which means right now, actually next month I make 1 year. I would have expected my human resource manager at hiring me and seeing my efficiency to be thinking for the time when I want to be in that company. How will she hire the next head of broadcast? Because they will need skills that I have used and garnered over a 20-year cycle uniquely. Nobody else has it. Meaning, if you have me for 3 years in the organization, as a human resource manager, your job is to multiply my skills. Not to go looking for a person who has the skills. Do you understand now? Get a Flavia, a Rose, a whoever, and say, you know what I do now? I say, someone has to understudy how I work. So I have somebody who I earmarked already, and I said, it is you. When I leave, you should be able to do the job. So they sit into every meeting, they hear how I make a decision, how I use data, how I deal with people, how I change things, how I remove things. So they will not need the degree at school. Do you understand? They won't need to go back to study. Because what matters in my job isn't so, they can never go back and beat me at experience. They can't. I finished. So they cannot go on, but they can get the skills. And that's all you need in the job. You understand? When I was being hired, I was an anomaly because at my age, and I only turned 38 in Feb, at my age, you should be starting to have the skills that I have. But me, I'm at the end of those skills and now learning new skills. What happens to the old ones? Do you understand? And I keep telling my HR manager, what are you doing to purge information from some of us? Because you're going to look for a workforce and it won't be there. Do you know when I'm trying to hire what they tell me? But how are you going to do it? And the job market is dead. I said it's dead because you're looking at it from the lens that you were taught in school. Do you understand? But that's not the lens this digital world, which is about access, is all about. Do you understand? If I hire a programs controller at Dembe FM and I tell that guy, don't worry about the other things. What I'm looking for is your ability to do activations in the market. Can you look at data of where consumers are and take me to that area and activate a proper campaign and chivulu? Yes, you have the job. I can teach you about programming. I cannot teach you the other skill. Does it make sense? Which means a guy who's been in marketing can become my programs controller at DAV. Because his marketing function is more important than his programming function. Then on the job, I teach him the other thing. Which means now I'm no longer looking for the filter of, have you been in radio before? Have you done radio programming? You understand? Are you familiar with events? Are you a creative? Do you understand now? Which means the job market that is hard all of a sudden is wider because of how I've opened it up. Okay? So skills, I've told you how we think as those who are hiring. How about you? Because some people will end up in different places. You know, I went to school for other things, I'm doing other things. So I agree that you can leave the university and end up anywhere, okay? For the first years, you will work to just make money. Very few are blessed to end up in your passions. It's not a bad thing. You learn as you go. So it's not a negative. Now, this is how you need to think. Today, it is hard for anyone in IT to lie to me. You understand? First of all, the other departments, let's not talk. A producer can't lie to me, a director can't lie to me. I know the entire TV and radio from technical to on air, like the back of my hand. Because when I was on air, I wasn't just a celeb who came to read the news or to appear on TV. When you mic me, I have to know the type of mic, why this works in this market versus the other market. By the time they go to these button things, by the way, we still use them by that TV. We have lapels. Do you know what a lapel is? There's a cheap pack they put here on your back, and a wire goes through, and it patches here. That's how they hear you. Do you understand? In fact, I think one time Messenger was being interviewed on NTV, and he forgot and he walked out, went to his car. He's still wearing a lapel mic. It is until 3 days later we're like, guy, you have our things. It's like, yeah, there was a cheap pack, I found it, you know. But time has evolved now. Even this one, you can walk away without knowing that you have it. But imagine that a microphone has what I am holding to this. You understand? It used to be important that a sound engineer knows how to work on these mics, and boom, you know boom mics? There's those long ones when they're doing movies. Now, a sound engineer listens for crispness, and so he knows there's a crisp audio you can get from a boom, a certain boom mic, a certain button mic, a certain, you know, those are skills. So when you're doing anything, please pay attention. Pay attention. When you come to a place like this, and you're doing this, and you say, the other one, what did they said that person's job is what? They're in marketing. Hey, it's not my business. Let me go. You'd be quite surprised if you learn from that person what they do. In my job as a manager, I need to know everything now. I must be a marketer, what, you know? So imagine if you don't pay attention to what everybody says. You know, niching is something you do later in life. It's like medicine. I know none of us studied medicine. But when you study, you go to the general practitioning, right? You study 5 years, is it? After 5 years, you practice general. Then after those years, you choose, do I want to be a dentist, an orthopedic surgeon? But imagine you've taken all those years. So when you hear a doctor called a general